Okay. So YouTube has been acting really weird. I thought I was live, but I guess I'm not. Let me send the link out. Hello, everybody. This is your boy Solo. Welcome, cryptocurrencies for dummies. Hey, Maurice, what's going on, man?
What's up, man? I see that storm, man. It must be something fierce over there.
I don't know, but the weird part is I was just looking at my channel and it says I wasn't live. So I don't know what the heck is going on, man. Can you do me a favor
What's up?
and check to see if we are live on my channel? Because it shows.
It says live. Let me see. Jumping on YouTube.
Okay, it shows that we're live now. So what happened before? I don't think we were live before, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, I feel like if we were, I would have noticed the live button, and I don't think I noticed it before.
That is crazy. All right, well, I guess we'll start again.
No worries.
My bad, Maurice. My bad. The first run was a practice run, bro. Okay.
Well, I don't know because you said there were 5 people were live.
I thought there were because I was looking at it, but then I realized then it went from 5 to 0, which I thought was unusual.
Huh.
So maybe it was 5 people waiting because then when I checked, there wasn't anybody else there. So I don't know, man. It's goofy, but I see it now on my feed, so I think we're good. The storm also has left so that should be nice. But ladies and gentlemen, for those that are here, welcome to Cryptocurrencies for Dummies. Maurice, man, introduce yourself, man.
So this is the Black Kryptonian, Maurice. Been on the channel a few times.
Well, my other channel, you mean?
The other channel, exactly. now my first time on the crypto channel officially.
There you go.
So me and Solo, we're gonna chop it up for y'all. Try to give y'all the game.
All right, so I'm just gonna read part of this article real quick in regards to what's going on with Bitcoin, and me and Maurice are gonna give our thoughts. Near 10,000. We're also gonna talk about altcoins today, and then Maurice, we're gonna talk about something you and I've been talking about a lot. Our favorite topic: when to take profits. All right, so Bitcoin challenges 10K amidst bullish sentiment. Ethereum reclaims $800. And Maurice, can you see the screen?
Yes.
Awesome. Perfect. Cool. All right. Bitcoin prices reached 9,886 cents on Friday, and yesterday, or today actually, it reached 9,900 as momentum continues to build for a challenge to resistance around 10,000. Data from Cointelegraph's price index and market visualization tool Coin360 revealed 2 attempts to retake the significant boundary Friday, both which almost touched 9,800 before correcting downwards. And Maurice, it actually did touch $9,900. I mean, what's going on? Why does it keep going up and then going down, man? What are you seeing? Or what does that tell you?
Well, it tells me that obviously Bitcoin is strong, and it seems like with all the news with the bankers and Bitcoin obviously is driving the price up. I couldn't tell you what's going on with that weird fluctuation, but it does seem like it's steady. As long as I don't see a downward spiral, for a couple $1,000s or so, I don't think it's anything to be worried about.
Awesome. Yeah, Maurice, this is working now. I see we got some people in the chat.
Cool.
Freelance Ronin Scream, what's up, guys? You guys are part of the elite. Welcome. You're not going to see a lot of people on this channel, but then again, what we're talking about is something that is not, you're not going to see this a lot. I mean, you'll see it a lot on some of the bigger crypto channels, but well, we're going to be talking about some other stuff. At press time, Bitcoin was hovering around $9,730. And last time I checked, hold on, let me go to coinmarketcap.com. Let me refresh. You got to refresh the screen here. It's at $9,834.09. So it's really hitting that up here, in regards to getting close. This week has produced continued upside throughout the market. The news marked by a sudden announcement, Maurice, from Goldman Sachs that it has chosen to offer client Bitcoin trading products. Now, Maurice, let me ask you this. Goldman Sachs, a big bank, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were adamant last year about, no, we're not doing that Bitcoin crap. That's, I'm paraphrasing, of course, because, I don't want to curse.
Right.
Now, Maurice, they're talking about, yeah, we got a division for Bitcoin. Come to Goldman Sachs if you want it. What in your opinion has changed in a year from now that makes a huge bank like Goldman Sachs now want to offer clients Bitcoin products?
Well, first of all, I don't think anything's changed. I think that the banks, certain major companies, they've been invested in cryptocurrency behind the scenes. I believe there was an initial pushback at first because obviously banks make their money off of the needless fees and credit card fees and any kind of fee they can get us and such. And they kind of freaked out when they saw the value of cryptocurrency go up last year, as well as obviously the people back in 2009, where basically people were getting rich and buying themselves out of debt, and they didn't want any part of that. So, they whined, complained. They had Senate hearings, and I think they've come to the realization that even in the last few months when we're in that crypto winter and stuff, that cryptocurrency isn't going away. That, as you can see, when that crypto winter had hit and people were like, oh, this is it. Ha ha, everybody. It was a Ponzi scheme the entire time. It's going to die. And here we are. And it's hovering right back to around 10 grand again. So I believe they kind of figured out we can't kill it. So let's just go public now, because I believe that they were invested the entire time. Once they kind of realized that it was here to stay, I believe that they were trying to control the market.
Agreed. And what I think, Maurice, for, a lot of people, I hear a lot of, you brought in the sentiment. People are saying, oh, it's a Ponzi scheme. A lot of people are saying there's no way that the elite, right? That when I say elite, I'm talking about the banks, would allow cryptocurrency to flourish. If they can't control it, then they're not going to allow it to become successful, right?
Yep.
You hear all this negativity, the FUD, right? Fear, uncertainty, doubt. And it makes you wonder, because from a lot of people that this comes from, I got to keep it 100 and be honest. I mean, they're ignorant. And they don't understand that it's not just the fact that Satoshi created Bitcoin to free the people, right, from the matrix, to allow you to be in control of your own money, to be able to trade without having to worry about outrageous fees and wait times and stuff. But the technology behind Bitcoin will revolutionize the world. I really believe that. And as I mentioned before, this live stream, got the other live stream where we weren't live.
Right.
I think in 10 to 20 years, Maurice, blockchain is going to be used everywhere.
I agree. It's not that far-fetched. I don't understand why people are so dismissive. I mean, I already kind of went through in some of your other streams on your other channel how I feel like this is just the evolution of like our currency in general and just money in general. It's not so far-fetched when all of us are walking around with like a computer in our pocket, or everything is digital now. Anytime that we're like interacting with something, it's on a digital level. So why eventually would the money not be the same way? I mean, we've already kind of been used to it with buying stuff online, and even the entities such as like eBay, Amazon, those could be considered exchanges, right? Where
Right.
we go to purchase items and such, and we put in our information, and it's not that far of a stretch if you ask me.
Right, definitely. And Charles Gilmore said in the chat, if I could only drop a super chat. I'm sorry, Charles, but on this channel, we only take cryptos. So I'm joking. I'm joking. Actually, super chat isn't enabled yet on this channel. I mean, that is something that, I would have to look into. But it's not enabled yet on this channel. So it is something that I will definitely look into. All right, so let me keep scrolling down here and finishing this article up. This week has produced continuous upside through the market. The news marked by a sudden announcement from Goldman Sachs that it has chosen to offer Bitcoin trading products, beginning with future tradings. These are due to start within weeks. An executive in charge of the project told the New York Times, with buying and selling likely to appear later. Reacting to the plans, cryptocurrency industry figures appear buoyant. Entrepreneur All-Star Malign drawing comparisons to heightened market sentiment in December 2017 as the first regulated Bitcoin futures launched in the US. Now, away from Bitcoin, Ethereum also produced significant gains over the week. The world's largest altcoin by market cap reached a multi-month high, climbing over $800 today for the first time since March 6th. Now, Maurice, before we got cut off, and I'll ask you again, do you think that Bitcoin will be able to reach its record high of 20,000 again?
Oh, yeah, certainly. I mean, and we were talking about it before. I mean, it's May, and it's hovering right at the 10K mark. I still believe that towards the end of the year, people want to collect their winnings on those end of the year to previous to what happened last year. Come October, November, December, everybody's going to want to cash out. The market, just everywhere, not just Bitcoin, is going to be super high. And I mean, if it's 10K now and it's May, I mean, that's not too many more months, that it has. Like, it has plenty of time to go to 20. I mean, I keep hearing people talking about 30 to 50. But I personally don't know about all that, but I can confidently bet that it'll hit 20K by, December at the latest.
Let's talk about, Maurice, altcoins, okay? And I'm pulling up my favorite website, one of them, CoinMarketCap, right? We got some nobs in this building, right? And just run me through a process, Maurice. When you look at a CoinMarketCap, or if you were to look at an altcoin, right? What criteria would you use when you're looking at an altcoin? Are you one of those people, if it's not in the top 20 or top 10, I'm not buying it? Or what's your philosophy?
No, I do have friends that are like that. They're like, hey, I just go for the top 15, and that's just what they invest in. I look at, like I said, I look at the quantity, right? I look at stuff that has like low market cap. I look at the hype, because there's some really good tech that's out there that on paper would seem like it should be doing amazing right now, but their advertising sucks.
Right. Or like Litecoin, they have a great product, but then they got Charlie Lee, who seems to be self-sabotaging it. You know what I mean?
Well, I think in that case there was a little bit of insider trading going on.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Like I said, he knew to sell. He knew to sell what he did.
Right. But let me ask you this. I for sure, because you know me, I was bullish on Litecoin early on, and I don't know, man, I'm teeter-tottering, but you know, I for sure thought that when he announced it, to me, I mean, I'm sorry, Maurice, but let's keep it real. I thought, okay, he must know something we don't.
I
You
mean,
know?
yeah. I mean, and he wasn't the only one, because before the Senate hearings and the SEC got involved, there was just a lot of shady activity that was going on. There was a lot of stuff that I even seen. It doesn't really happen so much now, even with the exchanges. Now that all this new money is pumped in the market, like certain exchanges for certain wallets, when the coins are like, dipped at a certain value, all of a sudden they would be in maintenance and you couldn't access the wallet, couldn't buy any of them. And then once it got to a certain number, they would be back up. Alleged insider trading. There was just like a lot of shadiness going on, and I don't know. It seems like it's actually quieted it down. I think the biggest thing that I kind of hear about now is just the scam ICOs that are just robbing people blind, and they're just trying to crack down on them, and the pump groups, obviously.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I mean, that's why you got to be careful if you get into ICOs. And one of the reasons I don't talk about ICOs on my channel is because I'm not trying to be sued. I'm not Trevon James, all right? So
real talk.
I'm not trying to be sued by you guys. That's why I got to say, before we continue, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a guru. This is just infotainment. This is not meant to be financial advice, and seek a professional like an accountant or somebody who's financially qualified to give you advice. All right. That's what I got to say. Maurice, let's talk about this. Okay, let's talk about and you don't have to tell all of us, but what are some of your favorite altcoins?
ADA, that's one.
ADA. Okay.
I mean, this one isn't too much of a shocker because you've mentioned it on your other channel several times. Flix.
Yeah.
Zaquila. I think that's how you say it. And
okay. Yeah, that's how you say Zakilla.
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 Coin. But that's a couple. I have other ones too. I'm not so bullish on them as I am those three, but I have enough that if they make moves, they'll give me a little bit of change, enough that I can flip and make some substantial profits.
Okay, let's talk about that. In your opinion, and I'll tell you my strategy, and but I wanted to know yours.
Mm-hmm.
Now Bitcoin is going back up. Altcoins are going up as well, right? Now, we just went through this crypto winter, and it's funny because Maurice, as you remember, right before this explosion, remember Maurice is my coach. Okay, he tells me what coins to buy or look into, right? And Maurice, thank God, because right before we took off on this bull run, or we're about to take off, you were telling me, hey, get this or get that, right? And in your opinion, Maurice, are we, two things I'm gonna ask you. Are we in a bull run yet, or are we about to be? What's your take on that?
No. I mean, if you would see things up across the board. It still is. I mean, obviously the portfolios, if you are investing on a regular basis consistently, they look strong right now.
Right.
Also coming off of what, 2-3 months, 4 months of just suckiness, basically. We may see something when Bitcoin does hit the 10K mark, when it surpasses that officially.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows? I mean, the market is so unpredictable. Things could stay
Wait, Maurice, can you say that again, please?
The market is so unpredictable.
Yes, agreed.
So, I mean, things may stay the same until towards the end of the year. And like, I'm just using logic by when I mentioned the end of the year, because again, people are they're gonna cash out their winnings. But I could be completely wrong. Tomorrow, maybe, maybe everything will be red. We don't even know.
Exactly. That's the definitely the unpredictability of the cryptocurrency market. Let me ask you this, Maurice. Are you in favor of regulation, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
And let me tell you why. We've already kind of went through the whole, people trying to scam people with these, ICOs that aren't legit. Um, there's, uh, it needs to be regulated. Things such as whales, right? Being able to go in and manipulate the market, right? So everything is crashing by pumping in a bunch of money into the market, and preventing certain other currencies to not be able to flourish because they just stay up on top of it because they have so much of a certain coin. If that was in the stock market, that would be illegal.
Right.
I also feel like even with the stuff going on with SEC right now and them putting
Right.
pressure on the exchanges, I feel like the regulation is actually working in favor of cryptocurrency as, hey, this is a legit source of income, even though they don't want to classify it as income, right? At least in the United States. But it's basically validating its legitimacy. And I
Right.
feel like the regulation, when it's there, it's kind of like it's actually going to help cryptocurrency as a whole drive the value of it up. Like, hey, this is actual tangible thing, and it's not going away. Versus, oh, this is a Ponzi scheme. I don't know what people are doing. It doesn't have any regulation. People are just doing this behind the scenes. I mean, once the regulation is involved, and I mean, there've already been Senate hearings on this. I mean, people are gonna have to kind of like, and I mean, you see the banks are already doing it. They're basically gonna have to buy into this because then
Right.
they're gonna know that this isn't, hey, this isn't just a pipe dream. This isn't just people doing this casually as a hobby. No, this is like a legitimate way of trading with real money.
Definitely. And I think, Maurice, I'm just going to add on real quick. One of the things that is great about regulation is if there is some regulation, it's going to bring in the really big money. You
Yep,
know, I mean, people think there's big money in it now, but I'm talking about a lot bigger money.
I agree. I agree. And who knows? Maybe the lack of regulation is what's scared some of the big name investors to not invest yet. Maybe they're just
Agreed.
waiting on that.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Yeah, I agree with that.
definitely. Now, Maurice, in your opinion, when is it the best time to take profits? Because I know that people, it's been a bearish crypto season up until, the last week or two of April or so. But there are people right now, Maurice, licking their chops. They're ready to take some profits. What strategies, and once again, we're talking about yourself, do you employ when you say to yourself, okay, I want to take some profits now? This is time for me to eat or reinvest. What do you look at when you want to take profits? Do you have a number in mind, if you don't mind sharing? I mean, you don't have to go into exact detail.
Right.
As an example, like let's say Bitcoin goes to 10,000. Are you going to be like, okay, once it hits 12, then I'm going to take profits? Or what's your take on that?
Well, I can tell you my first strategy is when I'm broke. So that's going to seriously. Um,
Hey, Maurice, you
knows their
still there?
financial situation. Um, you still can hear me?
You were cutting out there. Could you repeat what you just said before?
Everybody's different, and everybody knows their financial situation.
Agreed.
I know with me personally, it all depends on obviously the quantity of coinage that I have, um, what coins that are actually popping, that are making substantial profits that I'm comfortable cashing out. Because just because a coin is making you some dividends, it doesn't necessarily mean that you should cash it out right away. What if you don't really have so many of that particular coin, right? And
Agreed.
you cash it out, and then let's just say a month from now, it doubles or triples. So you just, while you made a profit, you could have like doubled or tripled your profit, right?
Right.
If I make any substantial profits, and this was something I kind of personally learned from last year, to just start cashing out your currency in increments that you're comfortable with. So let's just hypothetically say you make I don't know, let's just say you make $20,000.
Right.
Well, depending on your financial situation, and I mean, only you are going to know this. Maybe you can live comfortably for a few months or half the year, or for with $5,000. So maybe you would only cash out $5,000 and leave the rest of that in currency and live comfortably for the half the year.
Mm-hmm.
I actually would rather work like that than cash out a huge amount, unless it's some crazy amount where, like, I'm out of the matrix, like I'm talking about over 100 grand or something. Then I want my money, right? Because once that money's cashed out, is yours. They can't take that away. It's, you know what I mean?
Right.
But if we're not talking major monies like that, then I think you should personally do some self-evaluation to your finances as an individual, and what you would need. Let's just say if you wanted to live a year without working, 2 years without working, and base your cash outs off of that.
Right. I agree, Maurice. I think everybody has a different strategy when it comes to investing, right?
Correct.
And you got to hold true to yours. Now, Maurice, I'm gonna play devil's advocate. You know how I do, right?
Right.
Now, you mentioned that, and once again, I know we're going off of hypothetical scenarios, not exact, but you mentioned that you should assess your situation and take out here and there. But there's some people, Maurice, that would say the opposite. They're like, you know what? I'm gonna just hodl, you know. I'm gonna just hodl for dear life. I don't care how high it goes. I'm just hodling. I'm not taking out anything.
Mm-hmm.
What's your take on that with people that are hardcore hodlers?
Well, I mean, I just go back again to what we always said: don't put money into cryptocurrency that you're not willing to lose.
Right.
So if you're confident that, hey, I'm not going to touch this, I'm going to hold on to this for 5 to maybe 10 years, and I should be set, then, I mean, again, you still have to assess your financial situation. If that works for you, then that works for you. There's really no wrong way, of investing if you're trying to improve your situation.
I mean, you don't lose unless you sell
Now,
you cash out at a loss, right?
Right now,
Time you lose.
Right now, don't get me wrong. You can for sure make mistakes, but again, if this is money that, hey, you're not willing, that you're willing to part with, and it's not gonna, like, this isn't your savings or anything, then do what you feel comfortable with.
Right. And another thing for me, one of the things that I will say is, Maurice, there is something, I forgot the term, but it's like a greed factor, right? Like, for example, Maurice, let's say you have a number, right? Like, and I'm just using this as an example. Like, you're gonna take profits when Bitcoin hits 20,000. Then it hits 20,000. Then you say, nah, I'm gonna wait till it goes to 30. Then it goes to 30. You're like, nah, it's still going up. I'll just wait until it goes to 50, right? And you keep like moving the goalposts. You know what I mean, Maurice?
Yep.
And this is something I've done in the past, but I told, like, you really have to, like, okay, you know, because what could happen is now you all of a sudden you're let's say you're 35, right? And you're like, no, it's gonna go to 50, right? And then all of a sudden Bitcoin goes down to, like, let's say it went from 35 down to like 15. You know what I mean? And once again, we're just hypothetically speaking. But here you go, you had a certain number in mind, right? 20,000 or whatever, but you kept pushing that goal, and then you kind of miss out on those profits, and then you kind of, you know what I mean?
That happened. That happened to a buddy of mine, right before we went into our crypto winter, and it's the same with you, Solo. Because remember, I hitched you up on the personal and was like, "Hey, man, I see this coming. This is gonna crash. You need to pull out some cash. Don't pull out everything, but pull out enough that you're gonna be all right."
I said that?
No. I called you up and mentioned that to you.
Yeah, you did. And I told you I'm hodling.
Yeah, and you said you was hodling. And I was like, all right,
I'm glad I did. But you came back to
a little bit different portfolio. It was like he lost out on a substantial profit because he wanted to hodl as well. When I was like, no, dude, I'm telling you, like, just pull out enough that you're okay for the year and just leave the rest. And he was like, no. And then out, he would have been making way less money than he had before.
Right. Yeah, man. And that's the thing. Like, that's why I laugh when and not, no disrespect to anybody that does charts, right? I think that there's definitely you know, people that know what they're doing, but right now in this space, you can't. It doesn't make sense. I mean, you can chart, but it's so unpredictable that nobody can tell what happens. You know, because if you looked at my video based in January, Maurice, with how bullish I was on some of these coins and stuff, some of the stuff, and I know it's still early in the year, so whatever. But if you would have told me, because in January we were still kind of riding high, you know what I mean? At the beginning of January when I made my video, and now when you look at some of the coins that I was talking about then and now, I mean, damn, Litecoin is about to be pushed out of the top 10. You know, it's crazy. So what I'm saying is nobody can predict the future. If somebody says, "Oh, I know which coin is going to blow next," you know, come on, man. It's just either they know something, some inside information, or whatnot, or they're just trying to, you know, spread a lot of hype. And you see that a lot with certain coins, right? Like Ripple right now, Maurice, getting a lot of hype.
Yeah, I got rid of all my Ripple.
Yeah, is there a reason why?
I mean, I had an okay amount. It wasn't anything similar to the coins that I really was invested in or whatever, but it just wasn't really doing what I thought it was going to do. I saw other coins that were I could get cheaper, and they started making gains at a quicker rate than what Ripple was doing. And it's still, and the thing with Ripple is it's still a bank. So like, I just don't trust it. I really don't. And I'm not trying to throw FUD out there or anything. I mean, I know that there's probably other people that agree with me. It's just, I see other crypto alts that have a better market cap, and that they're, you know, I can get them pennies on the dollar, and they're making substantial profits over what Ripple is doing.
Definitely. Definitely.
And Ripple's not the only one. It's just we just happen to mention Ripple. There's other coins that are like that too.
But Ripple is looking pretty bullish right now. I mean,
it is. And if you can get into it, like I mean, we got it pulled up right here. It's still relatively a good buy.
Oh yeah, it's 91 cents. I mean, it's still. I think the record high was over $1, right? Was it like a buck? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
You still, if you get into, I don't think you can lose with Ripple in the long term, to be honest.
No, I don't either. There's already some bank systems overseas that's kind of started adapting the technology, like already.
Right.
Trying to make that transition into using it. Will it catch on? I mean, who knows?
I don't know. I think having a small amount, because I had something, but I got rid of it. But if you have a small amount, me personally, I don't see anything wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
But man, we trying to hit them licks, man. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get those coins, the trons before they're trons. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
0.001, like half a penny. Hey, Maurice, hold on. You know what coin I was just looking at earlier today? You're gonna laugh. Hold on. I'm gonna scroll down, right? Hold on a second. You see that coin right there, Maurice? Denta coin? You see the price? 0.000757. Oh man.
You might as well have been looking at.
Maurice, you there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you were cutting out again. You said you might as well look at what?
I said Dogecoin.
Dogecoin?
Where's Dogecoin on the list? But put in Dogecoin.
Hold on a second. He said Dogecoin. Oh man. Okay, here we got Maurice's favorite coin.
Yeah, I'm just sitting on this stuff.
Oh man. It hasn't even hit a penny yet?
This thing's over. It's never gonna do anything again. I have this as a giant paperweight.
And Maurice, I think BitConnect is doing better than your Dogecoin, man. Like,
it might be, to be honest.
Dude, BitConnect is at $1.26. Who the hell is buying BitConnect still?
Doesn't make any sense.
Trevon James? What? Who?
Leroy Jenkins is buying it.
Oh. BitConnect is still afloat. Oh, BitConnect 26.23% gain?
Crazy. How is this possible?
Somebody's buying BitConnect?
But you know what it is? So it's the same with the Dogecoin. There's always going to be somebody that thinks that, like, oh, look, I'm just gonna collect all these coins that nobody wants, and then one day they're just gonna hit magically.
Right. They think that it'll come back?
Yeah. I mean, there's still people that think Dogecoin is gonna come back. That's why I spent the little cash that I had off of making some trades and just bought that handful of Dogecoin. I was just like, whatever.
I hope it wasn't much, Maurice.
No. That was nothing substantial at all.
Well, Grand Admiral in the chat says Doge might not be a bad investment. So he's sounds like he's bullish on it.
I mean, I keep hearing that, but even if you look at the chart, you can see it. There was a time that it went up, and if you bought enough, you were good. But like I said, I don't have enough that. It ain't gonna get me out the matrix, obviously. Like I look at if you look at that January 18, and then it's like, oh, that's on BitConnect.
Oh, hold on, let me go back to the Dogecoin.
Yeah, that BitConnect, man, it January 18th, and then it flatlined.
Hold on a second. Yeah, it did. Maurice, keep talking, man. I gotta hit the restroom a second.
No, I got you, man. But yeah, if you're looking at the charts, I mean, this was only 4 years ago. You can see how it fluctuated up. Then it was stable. On the 17th, it kind of went up, went back down, a little bit more growth, and Solo is gone, so we can't like move the chart. So I'm gonna look on. It seems like with Dogecoin, there is a pattern of increase, but nothing substantial. Let me go to CoinMarketCap and see. I'll pull it up on my end so I can scroll through the charts. But yeah, and I mean, like when I say I have a little bit of Dogecoin, I mean it's like, I don't know, I got like 3,000 coins. It's not really a substantial amount unless there's just some weird thing happens where this this coin jumps up. But for that to happen, that would mean that the market value of Dogecoin would have to jump up significantly, and I don't see that happening at all. Let me pull my other screen, see what you guys are talking about in the chat, because I haven't even had the chat pulled up yet. I'm been looking at my Blockfolio, and that's another thing we mentioned it a couple times on some of the other channels. I don't know if you guys know about Blockfolio, but it's a really, really good app. If you're trying to chart your crypto, you can actually chart your crypto in real time. You can actually sync it to the majority of exchanges. It has a sync option on there, so if you have like your Coinbase app on your phone, it'll sync to that app and it'll sync your balances in there. It also has you can put alerts. So say for instance, if a coin dips below a certain value, or there is a certain value that you are just waiting on for it to rise to, you can get alerts. It has a news option on there that you can follow certain coins, and if there's any articles or new headlines for that certain coin, it will actually pop up on a feed on Blockfolio. So I don't know if they have it for iPhones. I have an Android. They may. You guys can check on it, but it's Blockfolio. It's like BLOCKFOLI, and that's what I use. It always has your portfolio value in real time. You can set it to show the 24-hour change or a month change or day change, and it's very, very easy to add coins on there and to scroll through the coinage. So I definitely recommend that app. I don't know if there's any other apps outside of that one that people prefer. If there is, you guys should put them in the chat. I'll check them out.
Talking about Blockfolio?
Yeah, and I asked the chat, because I'm actually gonna pull up the chat, if there was any other like apps, if that they use that are really good. But I know for me personally, I just use Blockfolio.
Right. Agreed. Blockfolio is nice.
And it is not.
People please don't post your
by now.
Don't post your Blockfolio on Instagram, how much you got or stuff like that, man.
You should talk about that actually.
Okay. What do you want to talk about?
Well, just in general, with people, I don't want to say people flexing on their crypto, but every person is different. I just know me personally, when I'm talking about my finances, my personal finances in general, I'm very vague. Even when we're talking here, you can see me and Solo, we're pretty vague on giving exact details. Digital media, so not to say there's any guys in the people watching and You know, you don't want to be posting your amounts or flexing like, oh, I got this, I got that. You know, somebody like hack into your computer trying to get like, you know, looking for stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you know, as most of you know, shout out to Ian Bellina. He's a mentor of mine that talked about in the video, and you know, he got hacked for 2 million. And really, I've mentioned this before, and I say it here. It really kind of it bothered me a lot because of the hate that came out with it, and me knowing Ian personally, he didn't do it to flex or stunt. He's always been a person to document the process. That's who he is. So when he first started his journey, his portfolio was at 6,000, and he showed it, you know. And then as he became more proficient with his investing, and he became a legendary, if you want to say that, for like, and he is a legend, in my opinion. You know, that 6,000 turned into a couple million, and you're gonna have a couple people that are gonna have their eyes on you, especially when you start to make waves or splash. And that's why, even for me personally, it's not just finances. You know, you want to be careful of what you share, and who you share it with, because you never know who else is watching, and not everybody has, you know, your best interest. So that's all I got to say about that. You there, Maurice? Well, Maurice must have hit the restroom.
No. Hey, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I was gonna say I was still here. That was weird. But no, man. I was just saying, just be smart. You know, especially the people that do any crypto business on their cell phones. I tend to actually avoid doing that. You know, like again, I have other things. I have cold storages. I just get my stuff off the net completely. But all your information is out there. You know, people hack into people's phones just for, you know, pics now, you know. So imagine what people are doing now, that like people are using crypto, and I mean people are hacking into like uh people's internet, you know, like Starbucks and McDonald's internet, and making fake pages that when people get onto the web browser thinking they're about to go on the net and they do that, you know, they're mining coins. Just be smart.
Yeah, definitely protect yourself. And I actually made a video about how to protect cryptocurrencies on my Patreon channel. I'll post the, you know, that's my paid subscription for those who are interested. And I kind of show the process of when I purchased, you know, my Ledger Nano S, and also the besides that. And by the way, like I said, man, I went to the vault. Like I was telling you, it's not here anymore, Maurice. It's all in the vault, baby.
Yeah,
So
that's what's up.
for you guys trying to rob me, it's in the vault. Okay.
Hey, you know what? You know what? Solo, do me a favor and tell them how you're enjoying the ledger, because remember that was something that I suggested. I was like, hey, you should get a ledger, and now we got a first testimonial right here.
Yeah, I mean the ledger is, you know, it's very easy to use. You know, the only, you know, very, you know, easy to use. It's basically, you know, it's a offline wallet, so to speak, and you know, you just store your funds there. It's super easy. The only thing that I wish about it was that it had more coins. Obviously, it's something they're probably working on, but yeah, you know, you gotta, you know, protect your funds, man, just like that, because nothing is 100%, guys. Even your bank account, people are like, your bank account, even that, you know, I've had my bank account hacked into.
Oh man.
You know, people writing fraudulent checks and things like that just from using credit card information when they didn't even have the credit card, you know, but they were able to get the number because I used it at a bank, not a bank, but at a hotel. And then the girl who worked at the hotel, she used it to have a pizza party.
Wow.
So, you know, you just gotta, with anything that you do, be careful on how you move. And personally, when it comes to this stuff nowadays, I mean, me and Maurice talked about it. I don't see the point of sharing crypto anymore with people, random people, because I used to be so excited about it. And you know, I the other day I kind of had to bark at a friend, a person who I thought was a friend, because he doesn't have a clue about it, and he just thinks that, you know, it's just a bunch of, he says it sounds like penny stocks, and he was just very dismissive of it. And realize that sometimes people are not going to understand your dreams or your aspirations, and those people you're going to have to leave behind. And it's unfortunate because I thought this guy was a friend, but you know, he really talked down on my crypto dreams very disrespectfully, to a point where I was like, you know what, forget you, you know. So not everybody's going to understand it, because at the end of the day, a lot of people don't want to do the research. They don't want to look at charts and graphs. They don't want to read articles. They don't want to listen to other YouTubers or get a different perspective. A lot of people only want to see what's in front of them.
No, that's truth, man. That's real talk. And you know, I never really got that, you know, and that shows you how, as you mentioned, that, you know, some people, they're just envious or jealous or whatever, because I've always been the type of person, like, it's kind of like back in 2009, I'll be the first to admit it, I wasn't thinking anything about crypto at all. I heard it once or twice, and that was the end of it. Of course, now I look back and I'm like, man, I wish I would have invested in it. But I never went out of my way to kind of discredit anybody that like wanted to do it or was doing it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand what's with the extra noise. If
well, I don't think I knew about crypto until 2013.
Right.
That was when I first heard it, but it was one of those things you kind of hear in passing and you're like, okay, cool. And then you forget about it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And then I heard about it again in 2016. There was a guy who kept bringing it up in my other channel. And eventually I had to do my own research, and I'm glad I did. I just wish I would have did it sooner, you know. But a lot of these opportunities that people miss out on is because they either think it's a, you know, think about it like this. When somebody said, hey, man, look into Yahoo, look into the internet, right? And then you try to tell somebody back in like 1990 what the internet was, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because back in 1990, the internet wasn't really that big. It wasn't really popping until like 94, 95. You know what I mean?
This is true.
And so think about trying to tell somebody about the internet in the late 80s. And then look at the internet now. Look at what happened with the .com burst and all of that. You know what I mean? So
real talk.
We are like 5 steps ahead of everybody right now with this crypto stuff, guys. If you're in the stream, you're five steps ahead of everybody. Whether you have $100 invested in crypto or you got 100 million, you're still 5 steps ahead of everybody. This is chess, not checkers. This is not, you know, this is not for everybody, man. So you guys right now, you guys are the leaders of the pack. I know some people are like, man, I got in late. I got in at $7,000. I got in at 10. No, bro, you're right on time. Because like I was telling Maurice earlier, I think by next year, you'll never see that 10,000 again. I truly believe that.
Yeah, this that you're mentioning that, I mean, this is it. We'll be able to look back on this video. I'm like, yep, Solo mentioned that in May of 2018, and
right,
just the way it is now.
I mean, look at it like this, Maurice. Not my first, but one of my first videos was last year, right? On my other channel. Litecoin was $25. Bitcoin was about $2,000. And Ethereum was at like $99. You think you're going to see those prices again?
Not anytime soon.
You know, unless it bottoms out or crashes, you're not going to see those prices again. So now you're looking at it, you're like, damn, I missed out from last year, because that's what I'm thinking, right? But no, bro. Next year it's even gonna be crazier. I truly believe that. Next year you're gonna be like, damn, it was at 10 grand, and we thought it was doing something at 10 grand. Just like people last year thought, whoa, it's at 2 grand. You know what I mean? No, next year it's gonna be at 50 grand. That's my. And once again, I'm merely speculating, but it'll be at 50 grand, and you're gonna be like, damn, I wish I would have bought more when it was at 10 grand last year.
And then, you know what? And this is something though that I do wonder about, right? While I do understand that maybe between the next 2 to 4 years or whatever, that cryptocurrency will steadily rise, is it just going to become kind of like the stock market, right? Or like where it's just going to bottom, and then about time that, like, let's just say that one Bitcoin is like 100K, right? Then it's going to be mainstream. Like people say it's mainstream now, but it's really not. You know what I mean? Like I'm talking about mainstream, like such as you using, you know, the smart chip on your credit card now. Or is this thing is just going to just constantly be, like I said, like the stock market, where it's like, hey, obviously the top cryptos are just, they're so far up there that unless you're part of the 1%, you're not going to be able to like invest in, and then everybody's still just going to be hitting alts up. Then I mean, like, I'm wondering how that's going to go.
Yeah, bro, and I don't know. I don't know,
because I don't think it's going to keep going up until, like, you know, one Bitcoin is like $1 million or something.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point. Well, here's the thing. I mean, because there's only a certain amount of Bitcoins, right?
Right.
And eventually, in theory, what you're saying is true. I mean, once all the Bitcoins have been mined, you know how far high you can go. But you also got to look at it like this, man. It just kind of like gold. You know, people are going to look at this as an intrinsic value and the storability factor of it. So how much is somebody willing to pay for something that's scarce? You know what I mean?
That's true.
So, but once again, man, we're getting into a realm that is very interesting, because 5 years from now, where we're going to be. You know, I do agree with you, Maurice. I don't see it going up like a gazillion and million and whatnot, like people think it is, right?
Yeah, I feel like they would shut that down. You know what I mean? Somehow they're like, no, there's no way we're gonna make one Bitcoin. We're gonna let that go to like $1 million.
Right. You know, but I do think in the future you're gonna see a lot altcoins, and it's already happening now that Bitcoin is not the number, you know, in regards to market dominance. It's not as it was back in December. You know what I mean? When it had like, I believe it was 80% of the market dominance. And I think altcoins are really gonna explode, because you see a lot more people becoming more knowledgeable and bullish about altcoins and the technology behind some of these altcoins that, let's be honest, are quite frankly years and far superior than Bitcoin in regards to technology.
Yep, this is true.
So, but Bitcoin, of course, is always going to be a staple because it was the first.
Yep.
And also it's the most well known, so it's always going to be around. But I do think that there's going to be altcoins or an altcoin that eventually will overtake Bitcoin. But that's just my opinion. And who knows? I mean, who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I think that sums it up pretty well. Who knows? It's so volatile, you know. It's kind of like,
right. You there, Maurice?
Yeah, I was about to say, you still hear me?
Yeah. It sounded like your mic was cutting out again for a second.
Oh man, I don't know what's going on with this thing. It's probably YouTube. They're like, they're giving too much information. Hit the button. Hit the button.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm looking in the chat about Doug stealing electricity. because he's mining bitcoins. Guys, don't steal electricity to mine Bitcoin.
Oh, that's funny, man. Hey, man, I can't be mad at his hustle, bro. He's not doing anything illegal, is he? You know.
Let's hope not. Let's hope.
Yeah. I don't know. Any of you guys got any questions in the chat for Maurice or myself? Let it be known. Yeah, guys, like I said, I wanted to do this hangout on this channel because this game is not for everybody. Not everybody's gonna appreciate it. And just be careful with what you put your money into and don't put in, don't put in your whole damn life savings. That's what I'm saying. Be careful, be smart, move accordingly.
And I will say this. I still plan on jumping into Forex.
Okay.
I kind of want to do it now, but I got some things going on, and I feel like I don't know. Maybe once I make a substantial gain again this year in crypto, I will throw a little bit of money at Forex and kind of see what I can do on there.
Okay.
All I've been doing is just kind of watching videos and taking in the knowledge now. But like I said, I can tell you from crypto and just studying stocks before that I feel pretty confident I could probably make a little bit of noise in Forex.
Okay, that's what's up. Yeah, and that's another thing, guys. There's nothing wrong with having multifaceted streams of investing. You know what I mean? And whatnot. The key here is to, me and Maurice talk about it a lot, is leaving the matrix, leaving the plantation, and anything you can do to do so is good, because at the end of the day, man, what we're talking about, a guy, some people like Dr. Ty Lopez, well, he's not doctor, but Ty Lopez or Dr. Boyce Watkins, they're going to charge you hundreds of dollars for it, man, and some of this information is out there for free. If you know where to find it, you know how to look for it. And, it's very important, man, that you're financially aware, because the dollar's going down, guys. It's been going down, whether you like it or not. And a lot of people are going to be in for a rude awakening in the next 10 to 20 years, with how it's going down. And I really believe that, man. I truly do.
Doug mentions in the chat, he says, Forex is his next move. He says he's seen his barber make $15 in the length of time to cut his hair.
Wow.
Yeah, that's true.
That's crazy.
I hear on some of the other financial channels I follow on YouTube, there's some people that swear by Forex, man. They said people are becoming millionaires every day from it.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy. CR Frank says 3 small coins to Ibon, Tron, Verge, and Icon. I got all of them except for Verge. I've got my reasons.
I have all of those coins.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm definitely Tron's got great marketing. I forgot the guy's name who runs Tron, but he's got arguably one of the best teams with Tron, and the marketing is phenomenal. They know how to hype up their product. And the Hodge twins, the crypto twins are now on board as well. They were talking crazy about Tron.
Oh, really?
They made a video the other day. They're on board too.
I didn't know that.
Yep. They got a crypto channel. The Hodge twins got a crypto channel now called Crypto Twins. So
yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, Icon is don't sleep on Icon, guys. Definitely. I've seen some good
Icon, but like again, not really a substantial amount. I mean, I heard about it when it was like really low, and you're right, it does have good advertising, but again, like me personally, it's just not moving how I was expecting it to move.
Which coin are you talking about?
On Tron.
Tron. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know, man. Tron is one of those coins that you know a lot of people talk about. I think it's the name. It's got. I think half of it has to do with the name, man. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Mr. Petty, he says ZRX. Well, I don't have that one, but I'm watching that one because I have coins that I watch as well. Some scuttlebutt coming. I'm like, oh, and I'll just put it on watch. And if I see enough advertising when I do research, then I may invest into it. If I hear Ian mention something, I'll put it on a watch. It all depends on money available, and if I'm willing to make an investment or such.
Right. Right. I mean, and Icon is one of those that you don't want to sleep on. And I slept on Icon initially, but then doing my research on it, I mean, they're calling it the Ethereum of Korea and all of that. And the fact that there's a possibility that Koreans will be using ICX the next few years is very real. And it's exciting. I mean, it's exciting because of the fact that when it comes to coins, Maurice, let me ask you this: do you think that? And I know we're speculating, but do you think that Asia, like Korea and Japan and China, they're further ahead than the U.S.?
I mean, ideally, I would like to say no, but yeah, especially Japan. I mean, like I said, the technology in general, when I went down there, it was already light years ahead of where we were at. And I was just kind of like, like what is going on? I mean, if you think about it, they have to be because remember last year, like towards the middle of the end of the year, when people were using up all the electricity to mine like Bitcoin and such, they had to start regulating that. That hasn't like on a national scale there for the country.
Right.
That hasn't happened here in the U.S.
Right. Agreed.
So I mean that should tell you something right there. And same with Korea, right? And all the regulations that were changing and stuff, and how certain exchanges or moving out of the area or whatever, so they don't have to deal with the SEC regulations and this and that. Again, that's things that hasn't really happened in the States. All we've gotten is tax BS.
Right. Maurice, I'm gonna read this to you. There's a 19-year-old by the name of Trey Wooden. His friend told him he should get into cryptocurrencies, and he's asking if he should do it. Now, once again, we're not your financial advisor. We're not the gurus. But Maurice, a 19-year-old getting into crypto, if you were 19, if you were 19 again, right, Maurice?
Mm-hmm.
What, and being in college or being in the military at the time, I believe. Well, let's say you were in college at the time, like he is, I'm assuming. You're broke. You don't have a lot of money. What type of things would you look at if you were 19? And knowing what you know now, obviously.
Again, do your due diligence and do your research. It's kind of hard to speculate because we don't know exactly what your friend has told you or exactly what kind of knowledge you have about cryptocurrency in general. If you are going to school full time, and I know you may not have roommates, probably cars, student loans and such. I think you're making the right move in regards to just being proactive and trying to find things outside of like working bum jobs, trying to go to school at the same time. That's something that I look back on now and I'm like, man, I junked away so much money in my 20s that now, I I could have made a killing with that cash, but I mean, it is what it is. If you have, again, and we were talking about this, I don't know if you just came on the chat. we were talking about it earlier, but if you have money aside, comfortable with investing in cryptocurrency that's not going to put you in any kind of financial like situation or whatever, my suggestion would again is to try to get those coins that are pennies on the dollar. So something that you could throw like $100 at and get like 10,000 like coins. And literally, if you're gonna make this type of commitment, right, you need to be all in. I mean, it's your money,
Right.
so you need to kind of like study and watch videos and really understand what you're investing in. Watch the coin that you are investing in, right? Check out the Reddit forums or Discord, and see. Even though we say the market is unpredictable, which is true, you can stay abreast of like certain trends, certain movements that like the teams are making, right? Because if you know that there's a certain coin and the team is going to have a release in a couple of months, more likely than not, then that coin's going to go up because of just word of mouth, right? And the hype.
Right.
Yeah, man, just be careful. I mean, you're doing it right. 19, you know how much money I blew when I was 19, partying, girls, alcohol, video games.
Ah,
That money is not coming back. It's just God.
ah.
It's just God. So yeah, man, I think you're doing it. I think you're doing it right. Um, if you make any uh substantial profits, when you're young, man, like do things for your future. Don't I know you want to go travel, right, and slay all these chicks and stuff, which is cool, but it's like, dude, like if you're in your 20s and you got a substantial amount, get you a place, bro. Pay that joint off, and then trust me, like if you make a substantial profit from crypto, that's only a tool. You need to look at other things, right? You need to look at stocks and investing in IRAs and like forex and flip that. Just pretty much what we're all talking about doing now to get out of the matrix.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's one of the things I will say is, look, guys, if you're in college, right, knowing what I know now, 19, I was broke as hell. I'm very broke, but I still had money to go to, restaurants and eat, right? There used to be a place called Old Country Buffet. You ever heard of that, Maurice?
What's it called?
It's not open anymore. It used to be a buffet chain called Old Country Buffet or Country Buffet.
Vaguely. I don't think I've ever been there though.
Yeah, they got them all over the Midwest here. Well, they used to. But if I would have taken that $13 that I was taking there once a week or twice a week and thrown it into crypto, I mean, who knows? So my only advice is and I'm very glad to see that we got young people who are interested in this. That's very, very cool, man. So kudos to you, because you could be 19 right now watching big booty porn. God knows what, you know what I mean? Like, the fact that you're investing in your future, man, that tells me that you're super mature. Because at 19, like, this wasn't even. I was too busy chasing girls and trying to,
Same.
pass my classes than to worry about my financial future. So kudos to you, man. Like, but do the research, invest what you're willing to lose. And if you're 19, man, you're ahead of, you're not just your peers, but you're ahead of some of these 30-year-olds,
Ain't that true?
some of these 30-year-olds, people who've, hit the wall and now they're trying to pick up the pieces, wondering what to do. But that's a different.
I will say this. If you get serious and you start getting the hang of stuff and you start, because I see people like, hey, get some real estate, get this and that, like, stay single. Like, real talk.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Like, still do your thing, but just stay single.
That's a different video, Maurice. That's a different video.
yeah, yeah, that might be on another Patreon stream.
Oh man. But yeah, I mean, I don't really have much else to say, Maurice, unless you want to chime in.
No, I mean, unless Cat's got any questions or if anybody has any tidbits they want to throw in the chat to share with everybody else. I mean, we've already mentioned some coins already. Hey, I got a question actually. So for the guy that's 19, do you have an idea of what coins that you would like to invest in starting off? See if he posts up.
Yeah, let's see if he's still in there.
He says Bitcoin. So,
Okay.
so are you aware of how much Bitcoin is right now?
He's gonna Google it real fast.
Okay. When you see how much Bitcoin is, you type back. It says no. Now this is what we mean about doing your research, right? Because on paper, and you know, we're not picking on you, but on paper, and that's funny because that same thing happened at the end of last year. You know, when Bitcoin hit 10,000, and we had all these new people that were like, I'm gonna invest, and we're gonna. How do you set up exchange? How do you get into this? How do you get into this? and Bitcoin was $10,000 a pop and going up.
Right.
So, yeah, man. Yeah, definitely do your research. You get on those, crypto for dummies, beginner tutorials, anything that like can break it down Barney style. Hit up Solo's Patreon, right? He got this channel right here. Like, do your research, brother, because people can say whatever you want about it, but it's real money that's being exchanged here. It's your money. So I know me personally, I'm not the biggest math guru, but when it comes to my money, I'll tell you exactly where it's at.
Right. Yeah, and that's one of the reasons, Maurice, last year, like a lot of cryptocurrency channels blew up because of that that bull run at the end of the year, because people needed information. And so I remember there was the Altcoin Buzz channel, they were putting out like 4 videos a day. You know what I mean? And I think that in the next couple months, we're going to be headed to that, because I see more crypto channels now than ever. And that's a beautiful thing. I love it because I watch a lot of different guys, man. I watch a lot of cryptos. I watch more crypto channels now than any other content because I believe that strongly in it, you know? You know, I mean, I could talk about weave and stuff like that, but that's not going to get me paid. I'm sorry, in the future. That's, you know, so, but you really just got to look at different guys and don't take everything any YouTuber says. I mean, take it as a grain of salt, even on my channel. That's one of the reasons I say do your own research. Always consult with a professional, because I'm not a guru and I'm not here to be a guru. I'm simply sharing a piece of my journey and my thoughts at the moment. Because, Maurice, you know what's fun about this?
What's that?
A year from now, we can look back and say, hey, remember when we talked about this, right? Just like last year when I was like, damn, you know, Litecoin is 25. I don't know. That's a little pricey. You know what, Maurice? If Litecoin was 25 now, I would get a bag of it. You know
yeah, I mean? Right. Seriously.
You know,
I sold all that Litecoin, man. I was like, man, this ain't doing nothing. Gone.
You know, like imagine if I would have put a G into Litecoin and then when it went to 330, cashed out.
My God.
You do the math, folks. You know,
you would have been sad.
You know, but it's fun to have that kind of conversation because next year, you know, me and Maurice, I don't want to give it away, but we've talked about this before. You never know, man. In a year or two, you'll see a live stream with me and Maurice on a yacht.
It's happening. I tell y'all, it's happening.
On a yacht with some lovely ladies, and then some people are really gonna be mad. You know?
Believe me, that video will get flagged.
That video will get flagged.
they shutting it down.
Oh man, there's so many places I could take that. I'm gonna just let it be, man. You know, I'm gonna just let it be. You know, that's just what it is.
To the 19-year-old guy that was there, yeah, man. Just like I said, just do your research and don't be afraid to connect with the people on the chat, man. Because I mean, like, they all got YouTube accounts. Shoot them a PM. You know, just be like, hey, this is so and so from the chat. You remember me, dude? I've met a lot of cool people like that, man.
Right. Yeah, I mean, me and Maurice, like, real talk, we don't know, we met through YouTube.
Yep, you know? This is true.
We've known each other for what now? 2 years?
Yeah, 3 years now, couple years, yeah.
You know, but the first one of our first talk was about self-improvement.
Yep.
Maurice was giving me his tips. I liked what his energy. I liked what he had to say. You know, we've talked about stuff since, and I've seen his growth as a person. He went from being a guy playing video games.
This is true.
Now he's doing fashion shows. And Maurice, tell him about if you don't mind sharing, one of your recent acting gigs that you just landed, bro.
Oh, yeah. And just for the record, I still play video games, but I'm more of a casual gamer now. So, you know, I'm embarrassed about
Maurice,
that.
keep it real. You were what? You were playing what, 8 to 10 hours a day?
Oh, yeah, dude. I had roommates for the first time and stuff, dude. Like, I was bored. I was just like, I'll just play some games. I was making games. But you have to remember, I was in school for game design. So it's kind of like I was entrenching myself into the business.
Oh, that's what you want to call it. Okay.
Yeah, I know. It sounds like a terrible excuse, but you know, it sounded good, though. But, yeah, so I actually was on set for the past week for casting I got for Red Lobster, actually, which is crazy. I didn't even think I was going to get it. It was just one of those things where it was kind of like I saw a casting. I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And since I've been doing the modeling and the acting for about 1.5 years now, I have a network of like talent that I know and I've done business with. So I had a videographer friend of mine, him and his wife, helped me with the audition, but shooting it, they mic'd me up. I mean, to the point to where when I actually showed up for casting, they remembered me because they were like, dude, your audition tape was like amazing. I had actually went through the extra effort for the audition to buy the food because they sent me a copy of the script that they wanted tape. I went to bought the food that was on the tape or on the script, and I even managed to get a menu. I told a sob story to get the menu because they didn't have to-go menus at Red Lobster. I never thought about that. And I got an actual menu and everything, but it was an awesome shoot, actually. It was very fun, and more importantly, it paid me, thanks, Doug, appreciate that. But more importantly, it paid me $500 a day.
That's what's up.
So you won't get that working 9 to 5 for the most part.
No, you won't. Trust me. Not a day.
Doesn't even seem like work.
You'll be lucky to get that in a week.
This is true.
Some of us. Let's just keep it a buck.
This is true. To include myself, and I have a high profile, positions in 9 to 5. So, yeah, man, I was very fortunate of that. Yeah, man, it was a good shoot. It was a lot of night shoot though. Like we shot through the night.
Right. Now, when it comes out, Maurice, will we be able to see maybe a clip or something like that?
Uh,
Possibly.
when I get the footage, I'm gonna post it on my official Facebook page at Maurice T. Johnson Official.
Okay.
So you guys will be able to view it there. And currently there are some behind the scenes that I took that it's on there now.
Okay.
There's a couple on my IG, darkmanx_129. Not so much because again I try to have different content on my social media, and there's a little bit more on my Snapchat at
Okay.
Kryptonian Black. So I took some live video and some stills, so you guys can see me on set. If you have been following my stuff, I did shave my beard. They paid me to shave it.
Hey, but you got paid to shave it though, so you can't complain.
Yeah, but I hadn't shaved this thing for about 2 months, man. I was digging it. I had the 70s chops going on. Like I told you, man, I was looking like Idris Elba. So I have an upcoming fashion show. So I'm sitting at the 5 o'clock shadows, like the 9 o'clock shadow now, and I'm debating on like shaving that. I might just leave it along until June because I like I said, there's another shoot that I'm like purposely growing it out for. So
Right.
it's just the fact that they suggested it. I said if you wanted me to do it, you're gonna pay me. They paid me. I try to give the clients what they want, and I still had enough time, to grow it back to the length that I want for my upcoming shoot in the next couple of months. So.
Right.
But then who knows, the way I dressed and I'm growing out, the facial hair, which nobody recognized me, of course. Maybe I'll get some 70s pimp gig somewhere or something. I'm with that.
I don't know, Maurice. You might have to be a sponsor so you can go on those NFL cheerleaders. But that's a different topic.
Don't get me started with that. They knew what was up.
We'll leave that for the other channel.
What it is, though? Not just about that in general. It's just this system here, man. This matrix system. It's the money. The money incentivizes bad behavior.
Agreed. And if you have the money, you can get away with the bad behavior.
Right. Real talk. If they would just stop that and cut that off, we wouldn't have any of this. But the problem is they know that there's a lot of women, they suck when it comes to finances, and they suck with money, and they pump money back into the system. And us men, we'll mess around, save money, invest in things like cryptocurrency and Forex and stocks, right? And people that aren't the elites, man, they get froggy, man, because they literally want to control us and make us wage slaves while they just live a comfortable life.
I remember a buddy of mine, and not to get too far off topic or get into another subject, but his girlfriend at the time, she wanted to buy a house, and she was making good money. She, was a nurse making 90 grand a year, which is pretty good money. Very good money where I live.
Very good money.
Well, it's 90 grand is pretty good money anywhere in America, unless you live in like Calabasas or something, then it's chump change, right? But 90 grand where I live makes, you're in the top 1%,
Sure.
And then he was saying she's trying to buy a house. She makes 90 a year, but she only has 2 grand in her savings. And I'm like, if you're making 90 a year, you should have a little bit more than that, but I understand that, he's like, yeah, well, she spends all her money shopping and going to these restaurants, fancy restaurants. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right.
Dude, I'll tell you a story. I actually watched this earlier today. So apparently there was this woman, and she worked for a real estate company, right? Where a real estate company, because she had moved out of state to work, whatever, was like, hey, I'll give you a house if you just work for me or whatever. You can just stay in this house.
Right.
She was like, sure. Let me tell you what, So she stayed in this house with her kids, right? Raised her kids. She was in this house for 9 years. 9 years, right?
Right.
Within that time, her real estate, her boss, he ended up going into jail for, you know, some kind of white collar fraud that he was doing, right?
Right.
Well, she never paid a lick of mortgage or anything on this house.
Right.
Nothing in those 9 years, right?
Right.
Even after he went to like prison. So of course, somebody found out, the banks got involved or whatever, right?
Right.
And it was kind of like, I forgot, there was some reason that they kept trying to auction the house off, but it kept falling off the market. She did try to buy it a couple of times.
Right.
Well, come to find out, right? The bank was like, okay, you can stay in the house or whatever, but we're gonna need $7,500 for the house, and then you can have it. Now, keep in mind, this was a huge house, right? This house probably was at least over 100K.
Right.
You're talking about
And they only wanted
$7,500.
$7,500 for it?
7,500, bro. Because she raised her whole family in this house.
Right.
She was just there. She never paid anything. 9 years, bro.
Right.
So she didn't have the 7,500 to get this damn house.
Damn.
And she was getting paid the entire time. I'm like, you weren't even paying a mortgage. You didn't have money put aside in for anything.
That is crazy to me. You figure you would at least, I don't know what her income was, but you figure you put at least 10% aside or something. Maurice, you still there? Hello? Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello, hello, hello?
Yep.
Maurice, you there? Hello? Can anybody hear me in the chat? Can you hear me? In the chat? Okay.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, there we go, man. That was, you know what? I think because I had like adjusted in my chair, and then my like cord got caught in the chair, so I was like, "What is going on?" They can't hear me, and then it was like, I don't know. I kept unplugging stuff and plugging it back on, thinking whatever. But yeah, man. Like, now she lucked out. So apparently, it was a company from Singapore, of all places, ended up buying this house.
Right.
And they just said, hey, you can stay in it on the condition that she's paying rent now.
Are you serious?
Yep. So she could have had this damn house for $7,500, paid free, clear. She'd already lived in it 9 years, didn't have to pay a damn dime. Nobody was bothering her. Now she has to pay rent.
Oh, boy.
I won't say
that's got to suck,
the
especially
ethnicity
knowing
of the woman.
that she'll probably be paying that $7,500 within half a year.
Yep.
In rent.
Yep.
I mean, look, in that type of situation, she couldn't have gotten a loan from somebody. Golly, man.
I'm trying to tell you, man, like, don't junk your money away, people.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that. It's crazy. Yeah.
So, when we gonna do that anime stream?
Oh, bro, the anime. You know, it's funny because I was talking to a young lady about that the other day because she is really into anime, right? So I'm trying to get her on the panel too, because she is talking about some stuff I've never heard of, you know?
Okay.
But bro, I don't know. I mean, whenever you have time, I mean, you know, really though, for me to do the animes, I would have to sit down and go through, because I've watched so many over the years.
I was about to say the same thing, bro. I mean, because on your other channel, some people had gave me about 4 or 5 different ones to kind of check out. They were newer animes, so
Right.
I was gonna start going through them or whatever. But you know, I've been busy. I got them right here, like in front of me. Black Clover, Tokyo Ghoul. You know, someone mentioned JoJo Bizarre Adventures. I kind of heard of that. I've heard of Attack of Titan, Hunter x Hunter. Boruto, I keep hearing that a couple times now. So I'm just gonna pick like maybe 2 or 3 of them, and like, you know.
I saw Prison School. It's on Netflix. Not on Netflix, but it's on Hulu and YouTube. I watched it on YouTube because it's, you know, dubbed, because I don't like sub. I'm sorry, I just can't, you know. I'm not trying to read when I'm watching my anime.
I mean, like, it depends. If the writing is really good, I don't mind reading it then.
Right.
But I definitely get what you're saying. Like when I watched Dragon Ball Super, I watched it all sub. And sometimes when it gets translated, it's not as edgy.
Right.
Some stuff is lost in translation.
Exactly. But Prison School was pretty decent. I don't think it's a classic. I was having an argument with the young lady yesterday. She says Naruto is not a classic because it's a lot of filler, she said. And I'm like, you out your mind. Naruto is a class. There is a lot of filler in Naruto. I will agree with that, but it's still a classic to me.
Yeah, how is that not a classic? In every FYE in America, Naruto is right next to Dragon Ball in the DVD section.
Exactly.
Yeah, she's talking silliness.
Well, I wish she's watching this. She's probably not watching this, but if she is,
did you see?
I'm talking about you.
I wasn't really a huge fan of it, but did you see the live action trailer for Bleach?
The live action?
Yeah, there's a live action trailer, man, for Bleach. It looks amazing.
I haven't seen it yet. I might have to definitely
maybe
watch.
I can put it in the chat.
Okay, that's what's up.
Oh, look at that. Let's see. Look, the first thing that comes up. Hold on, that's on Facebook. I know this is on YouTube for sure. Let me open another tab. Everything's on YouTube now, except black male content.
Oh man,
yeah,
definitely check it out. But hey, Maurice, man, I gotta end the stream. It was good talking to you, brother. Where can these people find you at, man?
You can check me out on my social media. Snapchat, it's Kryptonian Black. My Facebook, it's Maurice T. Show. And my IG is darkmanx_129. If you want to follow me, check out what I've been up to or whatever. I try to post different things on each of the different social media, so you won't see the same thing, you know.
That's a smart strategy. I do that too on my Snapchat. It's a little bit more edgier than my Instagram. So I'll leave it at that.
And then before I go, I'm gonna put the link to the Bleach trailer in the comments. You guys can check that out.
That's what's up. It looks like there are a lot of live streams tonight.
I noticed that. I think BGS has one too.
A lot of live streams are on tonight.
When was the last time you talked to BGS?
I was on his live stream the other day. Let's talk about.
Oh, there you
go. Yep. Gave him a little donation.
Cool. Oh, I saw you. I saw you watched Infinity War.
Yeah. I'll be doing a review. I'm watching it again, but I was very impressed.
I'm watching it tomorrow.
Oh, bro, get on that.
People are like, this is the greatest superhero movie ever. I was like, what?
It's right up there with Winter
Soldier?
Right up there with Winter Soldier and Iron Man 1, yes. They did a great job on Thanos. Thanos, excuse me.
Yeah.
I mean, because at the end of the movie, you actually are rooting for Thanos instead of the Avengers, man. Like they did a really good job. I thought it's right up there with Winter Soldier and Iron Man, but that's my opinion. So,
what about Logan?
Logan?
Yeah.
Are you talking about the last one?
I'm talking about Wolverine.
What about Wolverine?
How do you rate it against?
Are you talking about the one where with his daughter?
Yeah.
I didn't care for that one, to be honest.
Really?
I didn't care for it.
Wow, man. That movie, I was watching that movie again the other day. It's such a good movie.
I felt
there's certain movies that I think that are just like, as far as like the top tier of like superhero movies, I think that's one. I think what's the other? Dark Knight, obviously.
Oh yeah.
And probably Winter Soldier. Those are probably like my top 3.
Winter Soldier's up there. Dark Knight, definitely. And then for me, The Matrix, you got to throw that in there too.
This is true.
You know. All right, guys. Well,
pretty awesome.
Appreciate you guys for hopping on. You know, and I hope you guys have a good evening. And, you know, remember, cryptos are the future. Peace.
Peace.